objective of today's the primary objective of today's session is to make you realize the importance of application. And application may be something called as profile building. So let me have a start with a PPT जो मैंने एक create करी है, myself and Manish, both of us will be doing this. So let me start with this PPT. Manish sir, can you share that PPT for me?
Sure, sir. एक मिनट, मैंने उसको मेरे लिए सेटअप कर रखा था. एक मिनट, I'll put it on this.
So this is a small PPT. Manish sir, visible hai?
Yes, yes, sir.
So this is a small PPT which me and Manish have created. And today, both the online and the offline parents will be taking you through this PPT. So what will be the agenda? Agenda would be, we'll be giving a small introduction, which I've already largely given. Then make you understand the concept of profile building. What is profile building? इसके concept को समझाने की कोशिश करेंगे. We'll make you understand what is profile building. Then we'll be talking about university application concept. Then also give you an idea of the timeline. Then talk about experience sharing. That's where Pari and our parents will come in, and my colleague Manish will have a chat with them, and then tell you as to what we are offering. And then finally, we'll open the house for question answers. चलिए, let's get started. So, introduction में जैसे मैंने बोला, the big idea is information, awareness, and decision making. What we are trying to say is that you guys are on the path of applying abroad. But applying abroad में you should be aware कि क्या हमको करना है, and you should take decisions appropriately. That's what we are doing. Celebrating this. बंद कर दीजिए, बंद कर. Yes, that's fine. The air conditioning is working. बाप रे. Next, learn from the people who have traveled the path. So, it is important that you listen to the experience of Pari, how Pari went about doing this. And, before we came down, myself and Pari and our parents, we met for 10-15 minutes in the conference room. And I was telling Pari's parents this thing, कि कैसे Pari के profile ने उसको अभी better than her peers बना दिया है. Whatever she did in that profile building in the last 1 year has actually given her an edge over her fellow peers. And वो कैसे achieve हुआ is what we will learn from Pari today. Understand the technical details, how you can do it, and then choose your path. चलिए. We would like to share this August and October का SAT score. So we have students now. पहले ये वाली जो स्लाइड जब मैं आज से 4-5 साल पहले बनाता था, तो ये जब स्लाइड बनाता था, तो लेट मी टेल यू, ये वाले स्लाइड में कोई 1-1500 हुआ करता था. तो जब 1-1500 हुआ करता था, तो आई यूज्ड टू बी वेरी हैप्पी. बट वीव लर्नड द आर्ट ऑफ डिलीवरिंग एंड वीव मास्टर्ड द.
आवाज नहीं आ रही है सर की. डिस्चार्ज हो गया.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Is it loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir, please stop sharing कर लीजिए. Okay. So I was sharing कि this year in SAT, पहले I used to not have many students crossing the 1500 barrier, but now at Universal Tutorials, it's become a regular phenomena. And we have this year 2 students crossing in this August and October attempt, 2 students crossing the 1500 barrier. The first student is my younger son, Anuj, and this is Nainika Khanna, who's in the same boat as you, applying abroad this year. So we have Ayan Khatri, Krishna Desai, all getting very good scores and doing. So this is, we take pride in these results.
आपको
Now, I obviously take pride in this student, Kavya Jairaman, whom I don't know. She was here. In fact, I was just discussing. She was last year part of this session in the month of December, and we had last year conducted a similar session in the month of December. That's when Kavya was here and she was doing the applications last year. This year, she's already joined Cornell University. So she is obviously our pride that she was one of those students who's got the first Ivy League admit from Navi Mumbai. And she's got into Cornell. She was part of our integrated program, 11th and 12th. She studied with us and then went into this Cornell. Chaliye, moving forward. Now, what kind of application products we have? We have 2 products available. One is profile building and the second is application support. So मैं ये बार-बार आप सब parents and students को बोलना चाहता हूँ. So this is something which you should appreciate and realize. चलिए, thank you, ma'am. So ma'am अभी रहने दीजिए उस पे. You should appreciate and realize again and again. मैं highlight करना चाह रहा हूँ कि applying abroad is not about just writing an exam. Unlike India में you write the IIT exam, that's it, you're done with it. फिर आपको कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. आपका जो merit score आ गया, उसके basis पे आपको admission मिल जाएगा. But abroad it doesn't work that way. Writing an exam is just the first part of it. Applications are very important. Now, एक universal tutorials में एक बहुत fundamental change आया है over a period of time and we've evolved. ये जो product है profile building, we did not have this product last year. मतलब last year मतलब year before last. Pari was the first student who went through a profile building product where we are actually helping you to build the profile. And 1 year is a good enough amount of time to build the profile. और कई जब पेरेंट्स मेरे पास आते हैं बोलते हैं सर 1 साल में हो जाएगा. मैं कहता हूँ 1 साल में भी इनफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं. प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग में छोटा छोटा सा काम करना है. अगर वो छोटा छोटा सा काम करते हैं तो 1 साल के बाद वो काम काफी बड़ा होता है. So that's what I'll explain in profile building. And what is application वो भी मैं समझाता हूँ. तो मैडम थैंक यू वेरी मच. आगे बढ़ते जाइए. So both these products are one-to-one products. So none of these products are a classroom product. We do not cater to students on an एक साथ नहीं करते हैं. These are one-on-one products. आगे मैडम. So what is profile building and why profile building? Profile building is primarily for personal development. आगे बढ़े. So where we help you to enhance your personality. And Pari was just now saying कि sir मेरी personality not only for the profile building 9, 10, 11, 12 4 साल में ही अपने आप में जब से मैं study abroad का काम कर रही हूँ it's broadened up in a big way. So Pari would talk much about it and you're able to stand out from the rest of the crowd. And that's what is happening. And I take pride in that fact. Out of all the applicant pool who are doing right now, Pari has a very strong profile and that's why she's chosen to be the speaker for today. चलो आगे. अब प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग में हम करते क्या हैं? So we will suggest you things like course certifications, other exams, published research, internships, community work, social media, summer programs, other projects, extracurricular. ऐसे हम एक create एक list बहुत सारी देंगे और वहां पे आपको बताएंगे ये इतने सारे ऑप्शंस. ये करना है तो कौन से कोर्स सर्टिफिकेशंस करने हैं, ये करना है तो कौन से एग्जाम्स, कौन से कब एग्जाम्स लिखे जाएंगे, इंटर्नशिप्स कहां पे कैसे कर सकते हैं, कौन सी वेबसाइट कैसे जाके नेटवर्क आप कर सकते हो, कम्युनिटी वर्क, सोशल मीडिया, समर प्रोग्राम्स, like Anuj, this year my son, he went to Purdue and did a summer program over there. So ऐसे किधर किधर आप कैसे कहाँ कौन से समर प्रोग्राम्स कर सकते हो, तो वो सब चीजें हम आपको बताएंगे. अब प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग का प्रोसेस क्या है? प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग का प्रोसेस इज, फर्स्ट इज डेटा कैप्चरिंग, एनालिसिस, मैपिंग एंड देन क्रिएटिंग एन एडवाइजरी रिपोर्ट. हम आपको समझेंगे बच्चे को, वी विल अंडरस्टैंड हु यू आर, आपका क्या है, डेटा हम कैप्चर करेंगे, एनालाइज करेंगे कि आपके पास क्या क्या अपॉर्चुनिटीज है, आप क्या क्या कर सकते हो. देन मैप करके आपको एक एडवाइजरी रिपोर्ट. नॉट ओनली विल वी क्रिएट एन एडवाइजरी रिपोर्ट, वी विल ऑल्सो रिव्यू यू. प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग करेंगे आप, हम आपके लिए नहीं करेंगे. प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग सब कुछ आप ही करेंगे, हम सिर्फ आपकी एडवाइस देंगे. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. वी डू प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग रिव्यूज करते हैं. जब हमारे पास बच्चे 9th में जुड़ते हैं तो हम लोग 2 रिव्यूज पर ईयर करते हैं. जब 11th के बिगिनिंग में जुड़ते हैं, जो मैं आप सब बच्चों को बोल रहा हूं, जो आर ऑडियंस टुडे, हम लोग 3 रिव्यूज पर ईयर करते हैं. एंड स्टार्ट ऑफ 12th में 1 रिव्यू पर ईयर. तो ऐसे करके हम रिव्यू करते हैं एंड देन वी एडवाइस कि ये ऐसे ऐसे प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग करनी चाहिए. सो दिस हेल्प्स. सर इसको एसएटी से जोड़िए मत. This is a parallel activity. SAT continues. SAT आप एक अटेम्प्ट लेंगे, फिर SAT आपका शायद अच्छा स्कोर नहीं आया तो आप सेकंड अटेम्प्ट, थर्ड अटेम्प्ट लेंगे. तो इसको SAT से मत जोड़िए. अभी परी ने जब SAT लिया था, that she will talk and she's taken multiple and she's even wanting to do an SAT again in December. That's what I've heard. So SAT taking is an independent parallel activity. Profile building is a parallel. It is not a sequential activity, it is a parallel activity. You have to see it as a parallel activity. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now what is university application? Very quickly, university application क्या है? University application जैसे again मैंने समझाया, unlike India जहां पे एक IIT का स्कोर आ जाता है एंड वो लोग इंडिया में आपका 1000 रैंक आ गया, मेरिट रैंक आ गया, फिर आपको कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं. वो रैंक नंबर 1 को बुलाएंगे और बोलेंगे भाई तेरे को कहाँ पे एडमिशन चाहिए, ये इतने सारे 23 IIT है. तो बोला मेरे को IIT बॉम्बे कंप्यूटर साइंस, तो रैंक नंबर 1 विल गेट IIT बॉम्बे कंप्यूटर. देन रैंक नंबर 2 को बुलाएंगे, रैंक नंबर 3 को बुलाएंगे. इंडिया में दिस इज हाउ यू गेट यूनिवर्सिटी एडमिशंस. वहां पे ऐसे नहीं है. वहां पे स्कोर आया, स्कोर आने के बाद आपको यूनिवर्सिटी की लिस्ट डिसाइड करनी है कि मेरे को किधर अप्लाई करना है. और उस एप्लीकेशन में वो लोग आपसे बहुत सारी तरह की चीजें पूछेंगे कि आप कौन हो, आपकी स्ट्रेंथ क्या है, आपकी वीकनेस क्या है, वो ऐसे में पूछेंगे. आपको ह्यूमर कैसे टाइप का अच्छा लगता है, आई आस्क यू अ क्वेश्चन लाइक दिस. MIT बहुत सारे 8 क्वेश्चन पूछता है. आपको जब गुस्सा आता है या आपको आपकी वीकनेस क्या है, ऐसे बहुत सारे सवाल पूछते हैं. और आपको 200, 300, 500 वर्ड्स के ऐसे लिखने पड़ते हैं. उसमें से वो आपकी पर्सनालिटी असेस करते हैं. आपसे पूछते हैं कि आप इंटर्नशिप करने गए थे तो उसमें सीखा क्या, व्हाट आर योर लर्निंग्स. तो दैट बिकम्स योर एप्लीकेशन. तो अब इसमें 2 बड़े चैलेंज होते हैं. आपको यूनिवर्सिटी की लिस्ट डिसाइड करनी है और वो एसेस क्रिएट करनी है. तो यू हैव टू डू प्रोफाइल असेसमेंट, रेज्यूमे बिल्डिंग, बेस्ट फिट यूनिवर्सिटी, SOP लिखना, स्टेटमेंट ऑफ पर्पस, देन लेटर ऑफ रिकमेंडेशंस, एप्लीकेशन फाइलिंग, लोन, स्कॉलरशिप्स लिखना एंड देन फाइनली I-20. ऐसे करके ये पूरी यूनिवर्सिटी एप्लीकेशन का काम. So there are 2 individual things. One is profile and second is application. Application starts after profile is built. Then the application starts. चलिए हमारी एप्लीकेशन में कैसे, हम कैसे, like the applicant is at the center. We have a full team which is working on. First is the mentor team. Myself and Manish work with students in mapping, university selection, application strategy, where we help you on a one-on-one basis कि आपकी क्या यूनिवर्सिटी की फिट होनी चाहिए, कौन से प्रोग्राम्स में अप्लाई करना चाहिए. Then there is a content expert. Right now, like she is attached to a professor, English professor by name Nandini Bhattacharya. She is on a one-on-one basis helping her to reviewing her essays, how her essays are. And then we have Shruti ma'am who's helping to coordinate this entire thing, making sure all of them are delivered on time and सब time पे चले जाए. So she is doing application tracking, coordination, filing, and ये पूरा करके ये एक हमारी application की team है जो आपको assist करती है. So that's about application. आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now हम एक ऐसा ग्राफ क्रिएट करते हैं और ये पता नहीं किसका ग्राफ है, बट वन ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स का ग्राफ है. तो इसमें क्वालिटी वर्सेस चांस क्रिएट किया है. We've taken a data of all the universities एंड हर एक के रैंकिंग वगैरह क्रिएट करके वी सब्सक्राइब टू यूएस न्यूज, क्यूएस न्यूज, एंड वी क्रिएटेड अ ग्राफ लाइक दिस. अब इधर ये जो अब 3 dimension ग्राफ है, 2 dimensions तो x and y एक्सिस पे है, x एक्सिस पे क्वालिटी है, y एक्सिस पे चांस है, एंड द थर्ड डिमेंशन इज कॉस्ट. वो जो बजट आ रहा है ब्लू, ग्रीन, येलो, रेड, दैट इज द कॉस्ट. अब अगर आप जो ये ड्रीम बकेट है, इस ड्रीम बकेट को देखोगे तो इस ड्रीम बकेट में यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं जिनकी लो चांस है. दे आर लो ऑन एक्स एक्सिस, सॉरी राइट ऑन द एक्स एक्सिस, लो ऑन द वाई एक्सिस. तो लो चांस है बट हाई क्वालिटी. So we are saying pick 2 here, pick 1 here, aspire, equal and sure shot. ऐसे एक बकेट. तो हम इतना डिटेल स्टैटिस्टिकल काम आपको करके देते हैं. तो अच्छा, इसकी वजह से ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ इयर्स वी इंप्रूव्ड आवर एफिशिएंसी रेशियो. अगर हम 10 रेकमेंड कर रहे हैं तो 10 में से करीब 6, 7, 8 तक हम हिट मारते हैं. दिस ईयर विद अखिल मलाडी वी हैड हिट 8 out of 10. We did 10 and we got admits from 8 universities. So 2 को छोड़ के बाकी 8 में उसको एडमिट आ गया. And then he went to UCSD में finally he went to UCSD. That's one of the top ranked universities in the world. So we are able to do. So ऐसा करके हम आपको एप्लीकेशन में सपोर्ट करते हैं. आगे बढ़ते हैं. अब सर मनीष सर आप बोले इसके आगे. So Manish sir will take it forward from here. Sir, we will keep Pari and her parents seated the way they are because then they'll be facing the camera.
Right, sir. ठीक है.
You know, right now the camera is focused on them.
ठीक है सर.
मैं ये वाला कैमरा निकाल लेता हूँ and because I don't know मैं ऑडियो
हम सुन पाएंगे परी को. हेलो परी, गुड इवनिंग. बोलो, से समथिंग.
नहीं ओके सर, मैं माइक का अरेंजमेंट.
श्रुति मैडम, मैंने आपको मैसेज भी किया था कॉलर माइक के लिए.
कॉलर माइक साथ नहीं है.
हाँ, ये भी कर सकते हैं. कोने पे बैठना पड़ेगा तुमको. हाँ, अब बेटर हो तुम, आई गेस. यस, बट अगर हमको कुलकर्णी साहब से और मैडम से कुछ बात करनी होगी तो हम उनको फिर नहीं सुन पाएंगे. और सर हमारे वैसे भी काफी सॉफ्ट स्पोकन है तो उनकी आवाज नहीं आएगी यहाँ तक. सर कुछ करते हैं, अनुभव सर कर रहे हैं. मे बी he'll get that caller mic. So we will do this discussion, and in the meantime sir will join. तब तक let me tell you what kind of format we'll follow. So this is basically Pari's session where she will do a lot of talking and my job is only to moderate it and ensure that a lot of things we can take out from her which is useful for all those people who are aspiring to apply for Fall 25. And largely because she is still in that process, परी एक ऐसी स्टूडेंट है जो अभी essays लिख रही है. She has filed some application and she is waiting for some more. And I'll give that formal introduction of hers. But admits अभी आना चालू नहीं हुए. It will take time before admit comes. But she has walked this path जहाँ पे आज आप हो. उस पाथ पे परी आज से ठीक 1 साल पहले थी, possibly on the other side of table, classroom में किसी एक रो पे she was seated and she was hearing Kavya Jayaraman and Akhil Maladi's parents and others. जैसे आज वो स्पीकर है, लास्ट ईयर काव्या और उसके पेरेंट्स स्पीकर थे. एंड जैसे आप ऑडियंस में हैं आज, वैसे परी ऑडियंस में थी लास्ट December, I remember. So the format would be that we will ask some specific questions to Pari. And Pari, through her experience, first-hand experience, will guide us, will tell us what had she gone through, and you know we can learn a lot of things from a profile. जैसा सर ने बताया कि क्या 11th में आके प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग क्या ये राइट टाइम है? So ये आंसर बहुत सब्जेक्टिव है. सर ने कहा हाँ ये एकदम राइट टाइम है. ये बहुत सब्जेक्टिव आंसर है. ये एकदम राइट टाइम है क्योंकि अभी तक आपने कुछ किया नहीं है, आप पीछे जा नहीं सकते हैं इन टाइम टू डू एंड क्रिएट योर प्रोफाइल. तो अब कुछ ना कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा. एंड you will hear from Pari how challenging is this, because you are not only doing profile building, you have your schools, you have your competitive exams, you have your projects, and you have to take care of your attendance. Plus, there is not one activity you are doing, possibly you are doing multiple activities. So ideally, जितनी जल्दी आप इसको चालू कर सकते हैं, profile building चालू करना चाहिए. If you ask me, the moment you realize, if you are in 9th standard and you realize you want to do study abroad, start it then. You are in your 10th standard and you realize आपको study abroad करना है, start profile building there. वहां भी चालू नहीं किया. If you are in your 11th standard and you have made, which most of you are, and if you have made your plan A or plan B of going abroad and completing your undergrads, start your profile building. So संकेत, ये मैं अभी टॉक तब तक दे रहा हूं जब तक तुम मुझे गो हेड नहीं करते हो. The moment you tell me, हो गया सर, can we start?
Are you able to hear this?
हाँ, अभी आपको सुन पा रहे हैं सर.
हाँ, तो I think परी यहीं से बोलेगी सर. तो आप परी की आवाज आ रही है आपको?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, परी को सुन पा रहे हैं सर.
हाँ, तो we will have the speaker sitting over here only.
अच्छा, ठीक है सर, ठीक है. Okay, so once again, thank you, Anubhav sir, for giving us a background into what is university application and what is profile building. So the audience first, let me give introduction of the audience today. So Pari, I'm introducing them to you. These are students. Not everybody has joined, but all those who have joined, they have one thing in common. They all are in their 11th standard right now. अभी उन्होंने अपना mid semester exam दिया होगा, and they are working towards completing their syllabus, either preparing for IIT, JEE, medical in parallel, or only looking at and focusing at studying abroad. But all of them are in their 11th standard, coming from different boards. If I am correct, I think yes. ऐसा ही है. Now I'll share my screen, and this is a very simple session where I said that it's simple for me. परी को experience share करना है, मुझे ज़्यादा कुछ बोलना नहीं है. So this is more of an experience sharing session. And before we start, let me introduce my speaker for the day. Speakers for the day. This is Pari Kulkarni, and parents of Pari Kulkarni, Mr. Sandeep Kulkarni and Mrs. Kulkarni भी हमारे साथ वहाँ पे हैं. So let me introduce Pari to you first. She is in a 12th standard with Reliance Foundation School, Koperkhedne. She is a fall 24 aspirant. She would start her undergrad studies coming August 2024. Now, something special about Pari, which I thought I'll not put it on slide, and let me take the privilege of introducing you to her. तो परी को हम हमारे स्कूल टाइम से जानते हैं, मतलब उसके स्कूल टाइम से जानते हैं जब वो 9th 10th यहाँ करती थी और टेस्ट सीरीज लिखती थी और वो सब करती थी. Then studies abroad, SAT training and other exam, TOEFL and all that training, and now in university application और उससे पहले profile building. So it's been a good journey that we have had with Pari, and I'll say we are so happy to know her. अब इसको यहाँ क्यों बुलाया है? So when we started working with Pari, and आपको थोड़ा सा सुनना पड़ेगा समझने के लिए कि परी को क्यों बुलाया है. So when we started, creating university list for Pari, and given her good scores with SAT, academically she is very sound and strong. And जैसा अभी सर ने बताया थोड़ी देर पहले, given her peer group who may have got some 30-40 points more on SAT, she is one of the strongest contender, touch wood, keeping our fingers crossed, in terms of the university selection जो परी का हुआ है. और उसमें बहुत बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूटर है जो इस बच्ची ने पिछले, मैं ऐसा बोलूंगा, पिछले 10 महीने में मल्टीपल फैसेट्स, मल्टीपल डायमेंशंस पे काम किया है. ऐसा नहीं उसके पास उससे पहले वैसा नहीं था, बट फोकस्ड तरीके से खुद को स्ट्रेच करते हुए, लिटरली स्ट्रेच करते हुए, मल्टीपल, जैसे हम बोलते हैं, जगल किया है बॉल्स के बीच में. एंड उसका एडवांटेज अब ये मिल रहा है दैट हम थोड़े से एस्पिरेशनल हुए हैं उसके साथ, एंड काइंड ऑफ यूनिवर्सिटी एप्लीकेशन लिस्ट दैट शी हैज क्रिएटेड, तो वो बहुत हैंडसम लिस्ट है. Here, I would also want to say the kind of support Mr. and Mrs. Kulkarni has given, वो भी हमारे लिए ideal हैं. So parents could also, I would love to hear from them, so that parents of fall 25 aspirants could hear from them. the kind of support they have given, the kind of research they have done, the kind of concern, and equally efforts and sweat that they have put so that परी के वो जितने भी aspirations हैं वो meet हो पाए. तो हम अगर कुछ 4 पन्नों का research करते थे, I'm so proud in saying that Mr. and Mrs. Kulkarni उस 4 को 8 pages तक ले जाते थे और सर के पास आते थे, and I would be on Zoom most of the time, and we would admire and also consume what they are saying, and it would enrich the entire selection process. तो परी को यहाँ लाने का कारण ये है that आज हम जिस स्टेज पे हैं, जो मुझे अभी स्क्रीन पे दिख रहे हैं, जहाँ साइना है या जहाँ अयान है, जहाँ आयुष्मान है, एंड आई थिंक श्रेयस क्लास में बैठा है, जहाँ ये सारे बच्चे हैं, गाइस, परी was at the same place last year and she was listening to काव्या जयरामन जो कॉर्नेल गई है, अखिल मलाडी and others, and वो भी आप लोगों की तरह वो सब सुन रही थी, and best of it, वो सब सुनने के बाद she started executing. So Pari, welcome, and Mr. and Mrs. Kulkarni, welcome. Namaskar, namaste. Thank you for joining us today. So इस सेशन को कैसे करेंगे? इसको moderated session रखते हैं, question and answer में session रखते हैं. I'll have one lead question and then I'll leave it to Pari. Pari would talk about that. If Anubhav sir wants to contribute, Mr. and Mrs. Kulkarni, you want to contribute after Pari finishes, you can contribute, and then parents can come in, and if you have a question, audience में से उस particular topic पे रहिएगा please, because बहुत सारे topic हैं, तो ये session को हमको we have to also respect the time. You can ask questions then. Otherwise, there's an open house which we'll have towards the end. So let's begin. So Pari, first question to you is, which I have been talking about now, which is tell us about the time, how it started, because December 2022, you were there in the same classroom, which तीसरे चौथे रो पे तुम बैठी थी. So tell us about that when you were hearing, तुम्हारी जैसी एक achiever से तुम सुन रही थी. How did this all started? When I say that, I mean university application, profile building वाला idea. उस समय तक तुम कहाँ थी, and what did what all points did you gather from that session?
So, I hope I'm audible properly.
Is she audible? Ayan, Arushi, Saina, नहीं, ये negative में note कर रहे हैं. हाँ बेटे, आप खड़े होके भी, can we do that, sir?
Am I audible?
ऐसे जैसे मैं खड़ा था.
Am I audible now?
You are, और श्रेयस और उन बच्चों को भी देखती रहना क्लास में.
Yes. So I was exactly in the same place a year back, and till then my profile was like so I had decided I would go abroad for studying since 9, but till then my profile was a bit like scattered around, like I had done a bit of this, a bit of that. It was not very well structured wise. I had too many activities all around the place, but I did not focus on some components. So I started like a year back, like around December, and then I had already given my SAT, and I was planning for a second attempt, and then eventually around after my 11th grade finals were over, we actually started properly, like doing the activities which I could do in the 3-month gap we get between 11th and 12th and the summer vacations. So that is around the timeline, but actually I started around like with SAT like last year June, May itself. Okay.
So I go to my next question. I think हम audience से question open house में ले लेते हैं. Right, Pari. So this is when she started. So just like, अच्छा मैंने अभी ये बताया नहीं इसने activity क्या की है. Let her talk about it in some questions which would come. So like Anubhav sir said, she is that an ideal case where a child knows that she would want to do study abroad, but may not have done a lot of focused activities. But December May we had a similar event where she was listening to Kavya, and Kavya एक YouTubing की, उसने कुछ online courses किए, AP लिखे, summer school किया, वहां से उसको कुछ inspiration आया, and she thought that she needs to get her act together. And then, Pari, if I remember, वहां से you got into this, you got in touch with us, and we said चलो profile building करते हैं. एंड प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग सेशंस हुए, तो जब आपका पहला प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग सेशन हुआ वेयर यू वर टोल्ड कि क्या क्या पॉसिबिलिटीज हैं, क्या 8-10 एक्टिविटीज कर सकते हैं, व्हाट वाज योर फर्स्ट रिएक्शन? वाज इट अ रिएक्शन ओ आई हैव मिस्ड, मैंने तो कुछ भी नहीं किया है, और वाज इट समथिंग लाइक कि या आई कैन डू समथिंग, मैं कुछ चीजें पिक कर सकती हूँ? टेल अस समथिंग अबाउट दैट
I
थिंग.
think it was more on the second part that I have done some things, but now I'm actually getting a focused direction to go on. Like maybe I'm going on the right path now. I was like, this is the right path to follow now. Like after the first profile building session, I got a detailed analysis of what all things I could do in the given time. And of course, it's not possible to do everything, but then focusing on few components that would make my application strong was definitely a plus point. And additionally, after listening to the sessions, I can add, I immediately after the sessions, I had a talk with Anubhav sir and Manish sir, ki, okay, I am ready to focus on things right now. And this is my application till now. And now what to do next? So immediately, like after the session, we jumped right into it. And then we had the profile building session in 1 or 2 months immediately, I guess. Yes.
So let me ask a related question. कैसे चूज किया कि प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग में कौन कौन सी एक्टिविटीज पे काम करना है आपको? बिकॉज इट वाज 11th का दिसंबर, 12th के अभी जैसे आप कर रहे हो अक्टूबर से एप्लीकेशन लग जाएंगे, इफेक्टिवली 10 महीने थे आपके पास, यू ओनली हैड 10 मंथ्स और लेट मी से 9 मंथ्स. इसमें 11th का एग्जाम भी है, 12th की तैयारी भी है, सेकेंड अटेम्प्ट ऑफ एसएटी भी है, एपी एग्जाम्स भी हैं. तो कैसे डिसाइड किया कौन सी एक्टिविटी करोगे? बिकॉज अभी अनुभव सर ने बताया कि आप 10-15 एक्टिविटीज में से चूज कर सकते. हाउ डिड यू डिसाइड?
So like I believe according to me, correct me if I'm right, there are like 3 components you should focus on. There is academics, there is extracurricular, and there's community service. So in extracurriculars, the main things I did, I'll tell you about mine. I did a research project based on computer science, which is my intended major. Then I had like a junior MBA back in 9th. So that was a plus point for me because I started early. And then community service is definitely important. So please don't go like, okay, I have to apply, I'll do 30 hours of community service in 2 weeks or something just to show them. So like how I decided was what all from the previous things I have experience on, but I can build upon them is what I decided on. So what I did was, now I already had some experience in computer science, so maybe I can do some courses that will strengthen my foundation in that area. So I did a few computer science courses, like I did programming for everybody from Coursera by University of Michigan. Then I actually enrolled in Stanford's summer program, Code in Place, and I completed that. That was like a 7-week long program. So instead of trying to spread yourself too much, go into depth of only 3 to 4 things. That would be my advice.
Okay. So I'll add to what she just said. ये बहुत अभी इसने बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात बोली that she did something around computer science and U Michigan का कोई कोर्स है या स्टैनफोर्ड का है. All this she chose because of her major. So वो जो subtle way में बोलना चाह रही है, you do activities which are related to your intended major. परी जो अभी एप्लीकेशंस कर रही है वो CS, AI, ML, which is all tech, computer science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, ये कुछ वैसे कोर्सेज, मैथमेटिक्स भी अगर करना चाह रही है तो आगे जाके वो टेक बेस्ड हो. So she's picking such major, she intend to pick such major. So whatever she's just talking about right now, तो उसकी एडवाइजरी भी वैसे बिल्ड थी. तो वो कंप्यूटर साइंस रिलेटेड, what she's saying is अगर एक्स्ट्रा करिक्स भी करना है तो वो कहीं ना कहीं आपके मेजर से रिलेटेड. Community service, which she talk about, and I think Mrs. Kulkarni को जब मौका मिलेगा, she'll talk about it more. So in their network, they found out what kind of community service they can do and how can you either link it directly to the major या कोई इसकी ऐसी personality skills उसमें से बाहर आए जो हम आगे जाके उस major पे या उस college से fitment दिखा सकें. तो आपको community service करना है. एंड शी सेड, आपको जो मुझे समझ में आ रहा है परी, तुमने कहा कि कम्युनिटी सर्विस करना है, मगर ऐसा नहीं करना है कि 2 हफ्ते में 30 घंटे का काम करके बस एक सर्टिफिकेट ले लो.
Do it not just to show them कि okay, I have done so and so. Do it just because you will learn something out of it, not just for the sake of it कि okay, because I have to have a community service component, so I am doing this.
तो तुमने एक भोपाल वाला कम्युनिटी सर्विस किया था, राइट मिसेस कुलकर्णी? वो भोपाल वाला था आपका कॉन्टेक्ट?
Yes, sir. It
हाँ,
was.
और उस पे फिर हमने कुछ वो राइटअप किया था, उसके बारे में बताओ।
Yes, so the organization's name is Helpbox Bhopal. So they work for like underprivileged children to make them better accessible to education, and they provide education material to them. So I worked for the One Pen One Notebook initiative, and how it is, although it is in Bhopal, they have volunteers across India. So I was one of the volunteers from Mumbai, and basically what I did was I did a fundraising drive, and I collected money so that I can give it back to them, and they can take books, textbooks, and notebooks for children and pen. So basically, the idea is one pen and one notebook can enable better education for them. So this is what I did in my community service.
So this is one example where if you see between the lines, it's not fundraising, but it is helping those kids have better access to education. Now, जब वो अपने ऐसे में कुछ इस तरह का चीजें लिखेगी जो उसने सीरियसली ओवर अ पीरियड किया, जैसा वो बोल रही है 11th-12th के ब्रेक में उसको प्लान किया कि अगर उसको भोपाल भी जाना है तो वो भोपाल जाके विजिट कर सकती है, एंड शी कैन डू दिस. सो एकेडमिक कोर्सेज किए रिलेटेड टू हर मेजर, लर्निंग मोर स्किल्स, कम्युनिटी सर्विस किया, और एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग वर्क किया परी आपने, which was again around tech, which was that security app you guys developed.
Yes.
Can you talk at length about that?
It was the research project wherein we developed a safety-based navigation app. So I'll just sum it up quickly. It was a research project where we had to focus on imagine Google Maps, but instead of telling where the traffic is less, the app gives you where the safety is more. So for females and students, especially in unfamiliar areas, what we did was we mapped out the using few algorithms. We trained the machine so that it identifies the safety areas based like crime rates, street light density, how near the police station is, so that if you want some help, you can access it. And based on these components, we trained it to suggest safety apps based on that. So this was my research project, which was like 2-3 months long.
To suggest the route.
Yeah, to suggest safety-based routes instead of traffic-based routes.
Basically,
Mr. Kulkarni, please.
Yeah, basically she collaborated with a group of international students. This is through one incognito blueprints. She found one organization online. So this is one ex-Ivy League students group. They give research project to the students, and then they teach them coding and other thing. So with that, she learned not only coding, she had one good profile, and now she has got a experience of working with the international team also. So this that way she could do.
And she searched for that group on her own. उसने online group को search किया. ये सब all girls group है, multinational, coming from different nations.
Yes, so this is like Incognito Blueprints is an organization where they connect students from around the world in research boot camps, which are like 2 to 3 months long, and they connect them through their areas. And it's not only computer science related, but you can also have different areas of research you're interested in. So, and I discovered this, I will emphasize on this fact that doing research on your own and exploring what opportunities you have is also equally important. It's not just that sir or ma'am will give you this to do, but then you also have to go out and look for yourself that maybe if this thing interests you, go ahead, do that. If it's really going to be helpful. And if it's aligning with your major, that's a plus point, obviously. And research is something that universities really value, like doing research at this level.
Yes, very well said. And I mean, you have put it very well. So, जैसा सर ने बताया था, हम है ना वो कृष्ण भगवान वाला काम कर सकते हैं, where we can be your सारथी and can give you the way कि भाई ऐसा कुछ करो and walk on this path. But ultimately, you will have to walk that path on your own, which this girl did excellently well. चाहे वो प्रोफेसर कनेक्ट हो, नरसिंह मुंजी में किसी प्रोफेसर से कनेक्ट किया था आपने?
Yes, I served as a teaching assistant for an economics professor. So see, I did not just limit myself to computer science. So I wasn't able to take economics at school. So I decided, why not do this here? So it's like a multidisciplinary facet, really. It's not like I limited myself just to computer science. So I was a teaching assistant for making notes and PPTs for lectures, basically, for the economics professor. Yeah, I covered topics like accounting, then money banking, income determination and stuff, but at the, college level stuff.
Yes, and ये सब चीजें बहुत valued होती हैं, and you can see उसके पास बोलने के लिए कितना मसाला है, because she did so many things. So अगर count करेंगे, Ayan, what have you captured? क्या क्या काम किया है परी ने? Can you count it for me?
So she created an app like Google Maps.
She created one app, online लड़कियों का group बना के created one app, right? Go ahead.
She also did community surveys for the Bhopal group.
वो एक example था, correct? Community service.
And she also assisted economics professor.
Assisted economic professor by becoming a teaching assistant. और क्या capture किया? और क्या किया?
And she also did courses in programming.
तो ये 4 चीजों पे अभी तक वो बात कर चुकी है, where she has done these 4, और भी चीजें, but ये सब वो बात कर चुकी है, where she has done these courses, community service, assisting teacher, creating those apps. So Pari, this shows that we are listening to you with a very serious ear. और बताओ, so what more would you add? And this is my final question, and then I leave it open for people to talk to you. So now looking back, अक्टूबर एंड लास्ट वीक में है, आपने कुछ एप्लीकेशंस कल फाइल किए हैं, सैटरडे को फाइल किए हैं आपने, और कुछ आप अभी करोगे, एंड ये पूरा दिसंबर से लेके अभी तक, नाउ व्हेन यू लुक बैक परी, व्हाट एडवाइस डू यू गिव टू योर जूनियर्स, यू नो, हु आर हियर बिकॉज दे आर ऑलमोस्ट लाइक, क्योंकि कुछ काम किया है, बहुत सारा काम नहीं किया है, बट ऐसे एसेज में लिखने के लिए ये कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है ये काम करना, एक तो इनको ये बताओ, और दूसरा एनी अदर एडवाइस यू हैव. एक एडवाइस तो आपने बहुत अच्छी दी कि जो भी करो कोशिश करो कि वो मेजर से रिलेटेड हो, राइट? सो ऑल योर्स.
One thing I would definitely suggest is, instead of, कि अरे इतना बड़ा ये करना है, try to start doing it from school itself. You can open a club in school, something as small as that can develop into something big. For example, in my application, I did a small thing. I just opened an MUN club. I like debating. I opened an MUN club at my school. But then focusing on some questions in the college applications, I could actually write that I did something like this. So start from the basic level, from the school itself, and you can open your array from there itself. Is what I would
tell about student counseling.
Yeah, and one thing I would recommend, if your school has a student council, definitely please go ahead, be involved in your school community, because that will definitely add a plus point to your application. And I understand that in some schools there is an elective based student council. You may not always get a chance, but then show them you can shine in other areas even though you've not been selected for the leadership. So you can maybe shine not in the student council but separately on your own, of course.
Okay, so now when you look back, was it a wise decision to stretch so much, इतना सब चीजें करना? अब आप जब ऐसे लिख रहे हो नंदिनी मैडम के साथ, is it really helpful? Had you not done this, you would have been more relaxed. ऐसा नहीं लगता है?
No, because I think it paid off in the end, because instead of thinking very hard about what to write, I had the things in my hand ki, okay, I really learned from this experience, and I could show show in the essays that it helped me. And I would, stretching myself, like it helped, it paid off. That doing and juggling things paid off, I would say. I would not regret it, but this is what I would say mainly.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, अभी लाइफ में और क्या प्रायोरिटी? अगर अभी स्ट्रेच नहीं करेंगे तो हमारी उम्र में तो ब्रिटल हो जाओगे, स्ट्रेच करोगे तो टूट जाएंगे. अभी तो
you can stretch yourself and do something.
So
yes, absolutely. Yes. So Mrs. Kulkarni, before you add something, I would also want you to, थोड़ा सा पेरेंट का पर्सपेक्टिव भी ऐड कीजिए. पेरेंट्स भी आपको सुन रहे हैं, आप प्लीज बताइए मैडम.
So first of all, I will tell all parents that you trust the UT group जो है ना, उनको ट्रस्ट कीजिए. Now I see parents की एक आपने काउंसलर ले लिया और एक ले लेते हैं, उनका कुछ सुनते हैं, उनका नहीं सुनते, आधा इधर सुनते हैं. तो I would request parents ki please trust if you enroll here. First is that I would request parents rather than taking 2-3 counselors. And we as a parent felt that UT more than commercial maybe help, they are really person to person. They touched us, and they were able to identify the character of Pari's character, and then suggest, because we were not sure what to apply for. If you remember, Manish sir,
Yes, ma'am.
that also was done by Anubhav sir and you and ma'am. So that also helped. So trust UT. If you ever join UT counseling, and or if you are already joined, please trust them. And because there are many arrays available online, तो क्या होता है कि confusion में ही time निकल जाता है. Or what I can say as a parent, being from childhood, Pari is interested in everything. So it was very tough to for us to identify कि क्या उससे कराना है. She is very much interested in mythology also. She had given a guest a talk on mythology in her daycare where she has been from 10-month old. So वो भी है, and she was even interested in international relation, but somehow he said her that you can pursue it afterwards after being done your undergraduate admission. So trust your child and do not force anything. Let them jot down what they want to pursue, and then maybe you can guide them. But I would request you have to be very, very positive, and you have to give them support, even though means now for applying, even though she slept earlier than us, we filed her application yesterday. So you have to support as means as a parent, and be positive. Patience. Patience is required.
Right. Thank you so much, madam. Not only you are blessed, we are blessed to have her as our student too. कुलकर्णी साहब, आप कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे before we do an open house? आवाज नहीं आ रही सर.
मनीष सर, आवाज आ रहा है अभी?
अभी आ रहा है. यस सर.
ठीक है मनीष, बेसिकली ये अभी हमारा लास्ट 1.5 year का ना, ये एप्लीकेशन जर्नी वाज, बोलते हैं ना, एकदम क्या कहते हैं, पोस्टर राइड है कि हम लोग आज ये कॉलेज है, वो कॉलेज है, एंड इवन सीइंग ये इतने सारे में ऑलमोस्ट वी फाइनल 10 कॉलेज निकालने के लिए वी चर्न आउट ऑलमोस्ट 40-50 कॉलेजेस. ये कॉलेज अच्छा है क्या, ये कॉलेज का ये बैकग्राउंड है क्या, क्योंकि पहले हमारा ओरिएंटेशन था उसको मैनेजमेंट एमबीए करने के लिए, बट देन वी केम आउट कि अरे नहीं, पहले वी हैव टू गो इनटू द स्टेम, देन वी कैन थिंक ऑफ द मैनेजमेंट. Then some of the colleges we are given choice like a computer science with economics, UIUC में हमने choice दिया है. But then as a study abroad, वहाँ पे रहना है तो हमको STEM में जाना है. That also I learned from Manish sir and Anubhav sir. नहीं तो हम तो उसको पहले मैनेजमेंट में भेजने के लिए तैयार थे, MBA करके आ जाओ. But then we learned to know कि वो सिर्फ वापस ही आना पड़ेगा, रहने को नहीं मिलेगा. So then we decided to change strategy, send her for पहले कंप्यूटर साइंस करने दो, फिर बाद में देखेंगे. सो दिस इज एंड बेसिकली इंफॉर्मेशन बहुत सारी अवेलेबल है, इतनी सारी इंफॉर्मेशन है, बट वो उसको जो कंडेंस करने के लिए ना इन दोनों के पास आपको आना पड़ेगा. क्योंकि आप अगर मेरा कंप्यूटर का डेटाबेस आप देखते जाओगे ना, तो ऑलमोस्ट एक उसकी यूनिवर्सिटी लिस्ट बनी है, दे हैव गॉट अ मैपिंग, कौन सा स्टेट कहाँ पे, बिकॉज ऑफ दिस आई नो ऑल स्टेट्स ऑफ यूएस नाउ, दैट आई कैन से. तो ये हमारी भी लर्निंग चल रही है पिछले 1.5 साल से. तो that's what means for the interesting journey, yeah, that is true.
But it always helps, on a serious note, it always helps to start early. And like she said, essay लिखने के लिए she has points on her fingertips. Because believe you me, when we'll do shortlisting of university for you, and when your university essay prompts will come out, you will see that they will ask you all sorts of questions. एज इफ कि आपको टेड टॉक देना है. बिल्कुल उस तरह के क्वेश्चंस होंगे कि चैलेंजेस बताओ, फेलियर्स बताओ, क्या किया, क्यों ज्वाइन कर रहे हो, आगे क्या करना चाहते हो, हाउ डज इट प्रूव कि तुम्हारे अंदर सर्टेन क्वालिटीज है, कौन सा कल्चर है तुम्हारा, क्या बैकग्राउंड है. And these activities help you create evidences and stories and narrations around those prompts. तो इसलिए प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग अनलाइक इंडिया जैसे ऑल इंडिया रैंक नहीं हो आप, यहाँ पे जैसे हो जाता है, वहां पे दे आर मोर ऑफ एन एप्लीकेशन. तो वो सब कुछ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो आई नाउ इनवाइट अनुभव सर. यहाँ से आप सर प्लीज ऐड करें एंड देन वील मेक इट ओपन and let parents ask questions to Pari and her parents.
I would say let's keep an open house first.
Yes, sir. Let's go ahead.
Anyone can ask questions to Pari and Pari's parents.
सर आप पहले क्लासरूम से चालू कर लीजिए सर. लेट्स हैव पीपल इन क्लासरूम आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस इफ एनी.
बोले सर, बोले सर.
आपको क्वेश्चन रिपीट करना पड़ेगा हमारे लिए.
I will repeat, sir. I will repeat.
So I have basically two questions. First, what are three major criteria you have opted to choose a particular university, college, or any education institution? On the basis of your answer, I have my second question.
So his question is, what are Pari's major criteria in choosing a university? That's what his first question is. Yes, Pari.
So I think I've used the three main things I've used is, one is the ranking of my major in that university. The university may be as popular as Harvard or Stanford, but if I want to do aerospace, and if some other university like UIUC is better in aerospace, I would go for that. So what matters is the major ranking and not the university ranking specifically. The second factor I've looked at is, how is the area surrounding the college? Like it should be, I've mainly also focused on the safety factor also. And I've also focused on how is the educational student life there. Like in some universities, for example, you have in Georgia Tech, for example, in my research, I found that the student life is very much focused on studies mainly, and there's not much of social life or anything. And I prefer it that way. So that's why I also decided to apply to Georgia Tech. So that is also definitely important, considering the social, educational, and the other type of life at the particular university. And the third factor is, of course, some choices were based on whether the university offers scholarships or not, maybe they offer financial aid or not. That was also one of the, maybe not the most primary factor, but definitely a secondary factor in considering that.
So, Pari, thanks for your answer. You talked about safety or the safety of the students. Now I can see some political disturbances, especially in Australia, in Canada.
Yes.
Now we all know about Ukraine and Russia, or we all also know about Israel and
yes,
the neighboring countries dispute. So how a student should be aware of
political
happening university? Beforehand, they are aware of all these political disturbances. Now, if my son wants to take admission in any colleges, XYZ in Australia or Canada, and he is aware of the political disturbance. So how he has to focus on that particular two countries or a continent?
So the question is on how political factors affect your decision making. So here, before Pari comes in, sir, let me come into. I think this is beyond her scope, Pari's scope, because they were largely, as parents had decided, the country US. And I would say for Pari, I would like to speak. They probably, we had a discussion initially, they have never targeted Australia, they never targeted Canada, UK and things like that. And generally is a question which I would say I handle it when parents come to me, and I focus on these things and I give you a help. And there are multiple factors. Like you may want to go to Australia if you are or you're wanting to go into specific majors like nursing, jahan pe visa mil jata hai. You may want to Canada because if you're looking at lower cost, getting a PR readily, then you're looking at Canada. You are going to Europe if you have language competency. So ये factors मैं और मनीष sir help कर पाते हैं. I think बच्चे इस पे नहीं उतना focus कर पाते हैं. That would be my answer to that question. Good question. But let me tell you, that was beyond worry, I would say.
You mentioned about NGO activity or
Yes.
social activity in Bhopal, and you have contributed a significant amount of efforts in that one pen.
Yes.
Now, how you see a sports activity if I talk about the extracurricular thing, or a community service plays a very important major role as compared to sports activity, or both are different angles, different parameters to talk about how it is.
I just repeat the question. So the question which sir has asked is about comparing sports with community service. Is sports over community service, or is community service over sports, or are they two different angles? And Pari's view on that. Yes, sir.
I would say they both are two different angles. Each one is equally important, and sports also add that amount of importance. So maybe if I've been playing lawn tennis for the past 5 to 6 years, that is equally as important, because it shows that you have the physical fitness to be anywhere, and you can actually be strong enough to do that activity for a long period of time. Yes, and in universities particularly, they have many sports activities also. And if you look at few universities, their sports is so strongly in that if you write about it in your application, it makes your application stronger. And you having a sports background makes you more, likable to the university also in some points. I've seen a few like YouTube videos where the person had like baseball experience, basketball team captain experience and stuff, and they also focused on the sports aspect of the university. So that can help you in that aspect also.
So community service, in short, I mean, sports I got it. So community service, in short, basically related to NGO and
yes, community service can
give back to the community.
Community service can be as short as helping out your neighbors.
Specifically,
Like
here I would like to put the one point. Unlike Indian scenario, US is having the holistic admission process. They don't just see how many marks you have got, but they see how well-rounded personality you are having. Means you are having the community service. Like they say, means this is not like a loner child. They by community service, they means you are mixing up with this thing, because she is also volunteer for Kalyan Cyclist Club, where she is organizing weekend cycling rides. She participates in cycling. She has participated in. I have my friends NGO, they Doctors for You. So whenever they are having the campaign, they distribute some soap, or they have that campaign for soap for hope. So means whenever she gets a chance to participate, or it's like you need to exhibit that you are having the means you are able to participate, mix up well in the community. So it is not only like you are giving out, but it also shows one aspect of your personality.
thank you for your.
So we are done from this side. Now we'll take online questions.
Yes, we are ready for
Please raise
online
your hands.
questions.
Please raise your hands and ask questions. You can unmute yourself and ask.
I'm Arushi's parent. So one question I have is like, Arushi is in Champions Academy, right? And the subjects, if she want to take computer science as a major, and we don't have the computer science in 11-12 curriculum, so how much is going to affect it getting a major on computer science?
So, sir, no, it would not affect, because in India, that is not part of the regular curriculum. And most US universities are very well aware of it, that we would display Arushi, that Arushi is preparing for IIT and she is competing on maths, physics, chemistry, and computer science is not being offered by that college in which she is doing. It's not a mandatory subject. So it would not have any impact. You will be neutral in that. That would not affect her application. But an interest in computer science could be displayed through various other online courses or other AP courses and other projects, other activities in computer science.
Thank you.
Any other question? I think there are no more questions from online side, sir.
चलिए sir, तो फिर we'll continue that PPT part of it
Yes.
and
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll come down to the last part of this talk. So we did all that. Last couple of slides from my side for all the fall 25 aspirants. So this is how we can help you in case you're planning to do your applications and start on it after your SATs are out. So we have got two kind of help available. One is an economical package, economical in the sense where we restrict ourselves to applying to 4 universities. We give you your best fit universities and we make applications to them. And the other is the full service application package, जिसका आउटपुट अभी आपने देखा, जो सर ने ग्राफ दिखाया था, where we go deep into 200 year list, come out with 40, 50 और फिर उसमें से 10 finalize करते हैं, जो भी कुलकर्णी साहब भी बात कर रहे थे, and we do quality versus chance graph. So this is how we can help you. Profile building is something that you can avail as complimentary. If you take university application with us, then profile building will be offered as complimentary. Otherwise, this is chargeable. If you take in your 11th or 12th standard with us, it will have separate charges. But if you do university application with us, we'll be happy to advise you, guide you with your profile building, and it will be offered complimentary. For this, you can get in touch with our branch coordinator and study abroad coordinator, Mrs. Surjeet. You can call her up, she can fix an appointment, and in case you need some one-on-one help to decide your case, जैसे अभी गोस्वामी जी बात कर रहे थे कि CS पढ़ा नहीं है मगर CS में मेजर कर सकते हैं क्या? आंसर इज डेफिनेटली कर सकते हैं. और जैसा अनुभव सर ने बताया, in some way we'll have to show that we have done something that is showing our interest into CS either through PCM route या जैसा परी ने किया कुछ ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज करके जो रिलेटेड हो, something like that. So in case you want that discussion, you can talk to Mrs. Surjeet and she'll fix an appointment with you. So with this, thank you so much for joining this Sunday session. Thank you so much, Pari, Mr. and Mrs. Kulkarni, for always, being ready to help. And जितने हम आपके लिए reachable हैं, हमारे लिए भी आप उतने ही reachable हैं. So thank you for that association. Thank you so much. Anubhav sir, your word.
Thank you very much. We have created this small folder. People who came offline have collected this folder. People who are online, we will put it in the groups. So this has all that information which we discussed today is there in this. So you will get it in the PDF format in the groups, WhatsApp groups. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chaliye. Thank you very much.